Today we're going to learn how to roll a pour an ingot and roll some wire into square wire because I want to make a square shank for my ring. I'm actually filming this part because this part's the most important part when you're out in your shop. Moisture sometimes will get in your molds, and especially your ingot molds. If you have moisture inside your ingot mold, the moisture, when the gold hits the moisture, it'll go popping and going straight up into the air. Sometimes it'll land on your nose, your hair, the roof, the ceiling. So you want to be sure you take and you clean and dry the area really, really good that you're going to pour. This is an ingot mold. I'm going to make a round ingot. And you'll see that there's all different size ingots that I can pour. I'm going to pour a bigger one because I want to make a square shanked ring, and my shank's quite large. So I got that cleaned. And then this is the other half of the ingot mold. And of course, I'm only using this one, but I always like to clean the whole thing, make sure nothing's wet on it. Okay. Then on the other side, just to give you an example, this is how I would do sheet. If I was going to do sheet today and run it through my mill, I would do a sheet ingot, which I'd take and go this wide. But today I'm going to do a wire ingot, so I'll just take and put this so that I can pour my gold in this hole right here. Okay, so I set that there. Then this right here is a clamp to hold my mold together. Okay. This right here is called a crucible. And I have a little handle on it to make it easier, so when I heat it, it doesn't burn me. This right here is where my gold's at. And I'd like to put a little bit of borax in there, which helps the dirt come to the top of the gold and separate. Okay, so I have a mini torch. Now this mini torch has a really tiny tip. It's not going to melt gold. So I'm going to take this tip off. And I'm going to put what they call a rosebud torch. You can see it's quite a lot bigger, has a lot of holes. So now I have to make sure I'm all set up here because once I start, you can't quit. So here we go. I'm going to light it. You always bring the flame away from the tip in there and then bring it back with your propane. I use propane. Okay, I brought it back. And then I turn the oxygen on and bring them up so it looks like that. Then I don't want my ingot mold to be cold, so I'll heat it up a while. Because if it's cold, it makes sense that my gold would not go down all the way to the bottom of the hole. It would stay right at the hole and not pour in. So I spend a long time making sure it's dry and it's ready to go. But I don't really like, I gotta bring this back. There we go. Right. So, we'll get that nice and warm. Meanwhile, we're going to start heating up our gold. And, of course, we're going to pour it out this little lip right there. And so we want to be sure that we heat up that little lip. And my crucible, when I cured it, I put borax all over it, which makes a glass surface. So the gold will pour out on that glass surface. So you see it's kind of shiny. That's the borax I put into my crucible. And it makes it shiny, and it makes it so that the gold will move around once it's heated. Gold's kind of amazing because if you keep heating it, it runs up into a big ball. Never knew that before. I thought that was kind of amazing. I always tell people that jewelry is magic. There's so many magical things that happen when you make jewelry. And I always thought the fact that this rolls up into a big gold ball is kind of a magical thing. I kind of line it up that hole, and it's starting to get there. We're going to have a big round ball here in a minute. Now, this is always the tricky part. Getting all that gold to go into that hole can always be successful, but most time it is. Make sure that hole's nice and hot. See how it turned into a ball? Isn't that kind of a amazing thing? Okay, I think it looks like it's pretty liquefied. And don't ever take the torch off it. And let's see if we can hit our hole. Okay, it did it. Let's hope it went all the way down. There you go.